Alright, so hello everyone, welcome back to yet another video. Today's video is the video, of course, where I talk about the episode and the rankings and stuff. We didn't really get many results though for this week. This video is probably going to be like 5 minutes, if that. It's not going to be a long one, not like these big rambles I normally have. If you want to watch the actual full reactions to each episode, I'll have the link in the description to my live reactions to each performance. If you want to go and give that a watch. Thank you for all the support on that video. I think it's got something like 15,000 views on it at the moment, which is just crazy. So thank you all so much for the support on that. So like I said, I haven't got that much to say. We obviously had the difference in the performances this week, the results, sorry, between ATEEZ and MAYFLY, which, I mean, has pretty much set the tone for the rest of the show now, I think, in terms of results. You know, they got 5,000 points from each performance. I have to admit, I think the dance performance result was a little bit harsh. I actually really liked ATEEZ's dance performance. 22 to 11 to me was a little bit harsh. But when we came to the vocal unit performance, like, I get why it was a blowout. I really do think ATEEZ was really good, but that performance of Love Poem was just... It was just outstanding. Like, it was so perfectly executed, it was so perfectly done. Like, it was just, like, I don't know how any of them would have given points to a good team. Like, it was so good. With the other ones, I didn't completely agree with the results. I didn't agree with how much of a landslide it was to MAYFLY, but with that final performance, I have to admit, like, it was crazy. It was so good. Like, it was so good. I can't even argue it. Like, they should have got all the points for that. But that's basically it with that round. Because they've got 15,000 points now, though, I think it's really, like, in my opinion, the only teams left now really that I think have a chance of winning is Stray Kids and ATEEZ, and I think it'll be Stray Kids. I think, having seen their performance this week, which I'll get into in a minute, I really, even with Lisa this week, I don't see how iKON can come back. And I actually don't think Lisa's going to get them that many points. I think it's going to get them a lot on the stream, but I'll talk about this in a second now. We'll move on to it now even. Obviously, we had Classy Savage, okay? That was the name of the performance. It was a remix of Pretty Savage by Blackpink, featuring Lisa. Now, this was my favourite iKON performance so far. I will say this, though. I actually think it would have been my favourite iKON performance if Lisa wasn't in it. It's not that Lisa didn't add anything to it. It was just, I thought it was so weird the way that they had Lisa on, and she had nothing to do with the actual performance. Like, it split off to Lisa onto the other stage and showed Lisa's performance, and then Lisa just got off the stage. Like, I think it would have been so much better to have them together. Now, I've read about it. It wasn't because of COVID. It wasn't because of any of these reasons that I thought they weren't on stage together when I did my live reaction performance. Again, link in the description, you know, if you haven't already seen it. But, so I just don't get why. I think it would have been so much better if they actually incorporated Lisa into the performance rather than her just having a rap verse coming on and going off. Like, I just didn't like the segregation of it. I would have preferred it so much more if they were all performing together. That said, iKON's actual performance was incredible. Like, that was the best delivery, the best sort of remix, in my opinion, of a song that they've done the whole way through the competition. That was my favourite iKON performance. Even more than Inception, to be honest. I really, really liked the stage, and I really, really liked the performance. Yeah. You could just tell they're having fun. That I just thought it was such a good performance. I think they would have been just as good, to be honest, if it was just them performing. And then, of course, we had Stray Kids, which was, and I've said this already in my reaction video, possibly my favourite performance of the entire competition so far. The way they managed to mix the Marvel Universe with their own, like, sort of style of performance. And then not only that, but they managed to do that while remixing Blackpink's most famous song, making it sound nothing like the original. And then remixing the do-do-do into God's Menu. Like, the whole thing was just so perfectly remixed by Chan. The performance was excellent. The little movie cuts where they did, like, the Deadpool scene and the Ant-Man scene was so, like, clever. And, like, in my opinion, the only time people have innovated in this competition so far, like, really, really innovated, was when the BOYZ did the first person perspective, which everyone else kind of started doing after them. And when Stray Kids did this now, like, they did something completely unique with that. And I thought it was really... it was by far, in my opinion, the best performance. I was literally there watching the performance. I was like, all over the place. I was like, I can't believe what I'm watching. It was crazy good. For a K-pop performance that isn't even on, like, an award show, like this is literally Kingdom. Like, it's almost too good to be on Kingdom. Like, it was crazy to me that was on Kingdom. So I really, really think someone's gonna have to do something next level to beat Stray Kids now. I'm really looking forward to BTOB next week, obviously having the G-Idol feature. I'm hoping some other groups have a feature too, but if they don't, you know, it doesn't really matter. But I think it's going to take a lot to beat Stray Kids there. And I think because Stray Kids are already the ones to beat in this competition in terms of score, I think it's going to take a lot. One thing I will say, and I said this in this video, in the performances, Stray Kids should not have picked ATEEZ, because then they could have now had a 15,000 point lead if they'd have beat ATEEZ. I mean, it could have gone wrong, and ATEEZ could have got a 15,000 point lead, but I still think they should have took that risk. But it is what it is now. They're on the same points, basically, so it's all going to come down to this final round. Yeah. That's all I've got to say for this video. Like I said, it's not a long one. It's not really that much of a ramble, because there wasn't that much to say. But thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like. We're about to hit 400 subs. If you want to subscribe, that'd be awesome. Hitting 400 subs would be so sick. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that's easy.